Hi, Sam. Haley. Catherine and Sierra and Jade and Madison. It's so good to see you all this morning. How are you? Are you good? Are you excited that it's your birthday? I used to be. When I was like little like you, I used to be excited. I have a story to tell you this morning, and I've told this story before, so some of you may have heard it, but sometimes stories are good enough that you need to hear them again. And those of you that have been here for a while, the last couple of weeks we've had story books, but I have another old story this morning. What does this piece of cloth tell us?
The desert.
It's the desert. It's the place that's sometimes called the Holy Land. It's the place that tells us, this is a story about where Jesus lived and told people about God. And this is one of those stories, but this story happened to the people that knew Jesus after Jesus had been killed, after he had died. And these people were gathered in their homes, in different places. They weren't together, and they were very, very sad. They were very sad that they'd lost someone who they loved very, very much, and they didn't understand why it had to happen. And they were also scared at the same time. I don't know why
You want to keep going and we'll switch it over to the next, Kim?
Sure. And this went on for a while, and then all of a sudden one day there was this sound, and there was this feeling. It was like wind that blew in, and it was, and they could feel it on their face. But not only could they feel it on their face, they could feel it in their hearts. Just like when we take a breath. You know when you take a breath? Have you ever taken a breath and really paid attention to what happens? Take a breath. Can you feel the air going in? And then you blow it out. Well, that's what they felt. It was like this wind. And I wonder what kind of a sound wind makes. Can you make a sound like wind? Can you say the word as you say it? Wind. It sounds kind of windy, doesn't it? What about the word breath? Breath. That sounds kind of windy too, doesn't it? How about the word life? Life. That's kind of windy too. How about the word spirit? Spirit. That doesn't sound very windy. That sounds more like rain. Spirit. Spirit. If you whisper, spirit. But there's another word. The word that these people knew way back 2,000 years ago was the word ruach. Ruach. Can you say that? Ruach. That sounds like wind, doesn't it? And that word meant spirit and wind and breath and life all at the same time. Ruach. Well, what happened was when they felt this ruach, they suddenly realized that even though Jesus was gone, they still felt him in their hearts. They still felt him in their lives. And it made them feel better. And so they came together out of their individual homes. They all came together in one place. And they decided that they wanted to live just as Jesus had taught them. They wanted to be different. They wanted to love each other. They wanted to love each other even though they were strangers. They wanted to love each other. And so what they did is they brought everything they had. And some people only had a little wee bit, a few pennies, not worth anything.
I have more than 100 pennies.
Do you? And some people had a lot. A lot. And they also brought it and put it in the basket. And some people had fish, and some people had vegetables, and some people had bread, and they brought all of that so that all of them would have enough. And it was the way that they would show that they loved each other. And what they started to do is they would gather around a table, just like the table that we have in front of us here.
Oh, I know what we're doing today.
Do you? And every time, every day, in fact, they would get together somewhere, they would hug each other, they would tell each other that they loved each other, and they would share bread and they would share wine as a way of saying, we love each other, we love ourselves, and most importantly, we love God. And this is the way that they spent the rest of their lives. I wonder how it would feel to give up everything that you owned to a common basket. I wonder how that would feel, to give up everything.
In some ways good because we help others, but in some ways bad because you wouldn't have anything left to survive, to give later.
Yeah, so in some ways good because you'd be helping others, but in some ways bad because you might not have anything left. Yeah. I wonder how it would feel to know that there would always be everything you need. You never had to worry about that. I wonder how that would feel. I wonder. And I wonder how it feels to know that we are loved. I wonder how that feels. We're going to sing a song, and I think this is the kind of song that these people would have sung in their language 2,000 years ago. And we're going to sing it together in a minute, but I'm going to have you just imagine that these people here are singing it because it goes like this. It's really, really simple. It's love, 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 love. The gospel in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself, for God is love. Isn't that a neat song? It's so simple. So let's sing that together. And then you can head off to Children's Church after. A different key. Yeah. Oh, yes. We're going to do this. We're going to sing it all together through. Sorry, Fran. And then we're going to sing it as a round. It's beautiful in two parts and more. So we're going to split right down the middle here. And I'll lead this half and we'll start. And then Fran's going to lead this half for the second part. So just watch. All the words are up there. She'll just show you when to come in. So let's sing Little Love Can.